Let's learn a little bit from the kedushas Levi, parshas vayeitzei. He talks here about Hanukkah, which is coming soon. Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheva, and Yaakov left Beersheba, Beersheba, as they say in English. I'd say for parsha, all the way through the parsha to the end. Before Bezeh Mashiach Anukurin. Neis Chanukah v'Shem and Lashon Chanukah. Neis the Chanukah v'Shem and Lashon Chanukah. Why is the holiday with the miracle, with the oil of Chanukah? Why do we call it Chanukah? Ki Chanukah Lashon Chinuch. Chanukah is the term of Chinuch, which we usually mean education, but also means dedication. To dedicate something, to inaugurate something. For example, there's the dedication and the inauguration of the priestly vestments. In Exodus 29, verse 33, it says that they filled up their hands to serve in the priestly sense, to serve in the priesthood. But the hine, because behold, kol davar asher nase makim lahashras hakedusha elyaina, every place that's made for the indwelling of the supernal holiness, the highest holiness, it's stuck? No. Tzricha mekoidem lasis kliva chonel veis kibble. First you have to make something to a vessel to contain it. And Shia Mokim La Kedusha Habo Achar Kach Lishreis B'Davarahu. In order that should be where the holiness should rest, in that thing. What are we up to? Klimas minas the kabel hashras a kedusha shachal is kedulasi, and that's the whole idea. Why do we call educating a child the same term chinuch? Because the same thing, you're getting the child ready to be a kli, to be a vessel to receive the holiness when he grows up. V'ine Yaakov v'inu estakel v'yichad elion mereshis amachshav v'rosh yisod kolomas u'knesses Israel k'maymer chazal Israel alu machshav v'reshis bara. Yaakov Avinu, our patriarch Jacob, saw the supernal unity from the beginning of the thought of God, and he saw that the foundation of all the worlds is the Jewish community, as our sages teach, that the first thing that God thought of was the Israelite nation, the people who would serve him. That's what it means. In the beginning, God created B'Shvil Yisrael Shanikrim Reishis, for the sake of Israel, who are called Reishis elsewhere in Scripture. They're called the first. This is the cornerstone, the foundation stone for which the whole world is situated on. Because the pious community that serves God are the foundation of all the worlds, the higher worlds and the lower worlds. And thought is called there a stone, hana, like we said above, lashon yachid in the singular form. Because in the higher supernal spiritual worlds, the Jewish people are unified totally with the highest level of divine outpouring and mazel influence. And that's the Jacob, what he wanted to do with his mind He put his whole mind into this whole idea that Jacob wanted to bring this from the potential to the actual, from the roots to actually come out to be from where the shepherd of the stone of Israel, citing here Genesis 49:32. So it comes out that to plant the congregation of Israel as a perfect edifice, b'chol inyanim, in all of their inyanim, in all of their concepts, that there'll be the 12 tribes of God that are there. They correspond to 12 parts of the perfect supernal chariot, and so we're talking about 60,000 Israelites, because the sages teach in the Mishnah that the divine presence does not rest unless if there's less than 600,000 Israelites in the world. It has to be a total body with all of the limbs, all the pieces. And all this corresponds to higher lights and the higher worlds. And to take this from the general to the particular, to the parochial, this is what Jacob put his whole mind, and his head actually went on the stone. He took 12 stones and it became one. That's what it means, that Jacob put his head on the stone. And what it means, it doesn't mean just a physical stone. You put his whole mind into the foundation stone of the world. However, Scripture doesn't leave it simple meaning. Jacob, of course, he actually did physically put his head down on the stone and anoint it with oil, because of that Scripture tells us. But when Jacob did this, he had something else in mind. Al Evan Aruchni, in the spiritual stone, She Reishis Machshava, which is the first thought, Pinis Yisod Oilam, which is the cornerstone, the foundation of the world, Liyais Makusher, Alamasa Bechol enough of a protiv, to be connected to the deed with all of its wings, all of its details, to be a beautiful edifice with many beautiful rooms, a palace, that there will be many tzaddikim and Torah scholars coming out of this palace of the Jewish people. This was the worship and the service of Jacob. To look at the unity of the Israelite nation, until the end of all generations. But afterwards, Jacob saw the destruction of the Jewish people, the destruction of the temple, and the tremendous anger that passed upon the Jewish people. Does this continue? Is this where it ends? That's why Jacob left Beersheba. It's a lema, means he had to leave that, looking at that supernal unity, that from there there'll be influence for all the worlds, and to all the 7 spheres, the midas. That's why it's called the name Beersheba, the well of 7. And he went to Haran. He looked at the anger that the Jewish people would suffer. And he was very pained by this. And when he saw how much his seed would suffer in exile, but more than that, the spiritual destitution of the of the Israelite nation that would come about, their physical suffering. That's why it says, and he lighted upon the place where they touched. Hamakim means God, the place. I mean, it's not just the pain that his children would feel, that the Israelite nation would feel, but the pain of God himself, kiviyachal, as so to speak, because God is called the place of the world, because whenever a Jew suffers, God is suffering, so to speak. That's what the scripture tells us in the Psalms. And Jacob was very pained by the pain of the Shechina, so to speak. That's what it means that he slept there, because the sun came down, and he had where to sleep. It means to say or because he had darkness because of all the suffering, and he lost his dvekas, his connection to God. And he took the stones of that place and put it under his head, and he put his thoughts on this thing. That's what it says, from the stones. This is talking about the destruction of the Israelite nation, which was destroyed. And that's what is written, and he dreamt. Here is canal. Because this is a big deal, but he was able to get out of this. But people think that Golus is just a physical thing. No, it's a spiritual thing. That's why it says that the ladder that he saw in his dream, it was planted in the earth, but its head went up to heaven. Because Golus, it's not a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing that goes up to the highest heavens. Because when there's a Golus, there's a lessening of even spiritual energy in this world. And behold, the angels of God were going up and down in it. That means to say, so the thing is there's a purpose in the Golus, is to pick up and return the holy sparks to the higher levels. But sometimes we drop the sparks too. And Jacob was remembering himself, and behold, the Lord was standing upon him, and so to speak, the Shekhinah was with the Jewish people in suffering, as it says in Psalm 91, verse 15. I am with him in suffering. So if God is with us, the pain is a pain of God, not our own pain. When God saw this, how much Jacob was suffering by the suffering of God, he said, behold, I am the God of Abraham your father, the Lord, the God of Abraham your father. The land that you're sleeping on, means you're worried about it, I'm going to give it to you into your seed. Behold, I'm with you and I will guard you, I'll protect you. Means to say, even though they're in exile, I'm going to be with them and protect them. Which is, I'm going to return you to the land. Even though they're exiled, I'm going to return them and accept them. As long as I do is what I said to you. And Jacob woke up from his sleep. Which means to say, Jacob left that level of sleep where he was in darkness and removed because of the pain of God and the pain of Israel. And he said, it's true, God is here in this place. And I didn't know. I thought when the Jews go into exile, God abandoned them, God forbid. And God's face is hidden, and is not looking at them. But now I see God is with him. And this is the house of God. Because God is with him even in exile, it's also the house of God. So that means that exile is for the benefit of the Jewish people. So then Jacob went back to his first thought, to take the stone that he sent under his head. Means to say, this is the foundation that he put his head, meaning his thoughts, upon. And he put it up as a monument. Means to say, he put it up standing erectly, and he anointed with oil on the head of this stone. Which means to himshich. Lamala hu shemen kina l'chachmel yaina, meaning he attached the highest level, because oil is a nickname for the highest level of wisdom. Meshach misham shefa chiyus hakedusha v'yichud amasa, and he brought down from there the energy and the life force and the holiness and the unity of all deeds. V'hu chachmila, which is the highest level of wisdom. Mashu eveni yisoid, which is the stone of the foundation. V'ase mimenu binyan shalom, he made a perfect edifice for him. B'chol choravim Ephraim, with all the beautiful rooms. He made a dwelling place for the divine presence. V'yichud l'malkim baruch hu, and the unity for God may be blessed, who's called the place like a bedroom where they can be together. And that's what it says. I named this place Bethel, which is the house and the dwelling place for the name El, God. I live in the town of Bethel. And this is what Scripture says. But Luz was the name of the town before it. Salima means the be'emes, the gam kridim sha'asi yankov gam kinu devarim gukoyach yichad elyon. Jacob did all these things before with this energy of the total unity above. Ki reishis machshava, that's the first thought of it. Kolos kol Yisrael, which includes all of Israel. Dar v'dar, all the generations. Adukva the Mashiach, until the footsteps of the Messiah are actually ha'isa v'chinas Luz. It was called Luz, and ki ever echad yesh ba'adam sh'shmai Luz, because there's a bone in every person's body called Luz v'nichsei Hashem mizeh ever is hava bin yanadam shel kol ramach evraim, and that's where all the 248 limbs come when the resurrection comes. That's how it is when a person is born, when the embryo forms in the womb, and that's how it will be resurrected in the future. Because this part of the body never decomposes. So the whole body will be resurrected from that. So therefore the luz, this part of the body it's a stem cell, right? That has the energy and the life force of all the 248 limbs. And this is like we say, Kain ha'evan, ha'roisha, ha'isa roishis, ha'machshavim, so that first, the head of the stone, right, that he anointed, means the first thought, which includes everything. What was in the past, what's going to be in the future. But Jacob met with this. He went from the potential to the actual. Then everything was with God's energy. There's no. We spoke long enough. We can't talk about Vahavein. Know about this. All right. That's a long Devar Torah. Thank you for listening. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll talk later. Yavari could explain vayeitzei Yaakov Beersheva, and Jacob left Beersheba. Yaakov hu minyan sheva pamim havaya. Jacob is 7 times. Yaakov is 7 times 26. The name of God. Vayochel leilach l'chutz la'eretz lahalois. And he was able to leave the land to pick up the Lalos and Tzotzis, pick up the spots. Yitzchak hu minyan ches pamim havaya. Yitzchak is 8 times havaya. V'shem hu mala maliusa nitzaitz me'elias nitzaitz v'chach l'yerash es leilach l'chutz, but because Yitzchak was on a higher level, he couldn't go to Chutz La'aretz.